All right, back with another trade recap. I was not on the charts today because I was busy tonight, but I'm still gonna go over it, still gonna analyze, still gonna see what happened. And yeah, let's hop into it. So looking at DXY, and I'm gonna start by looking at DXY because my two main pairs that I trade both traded against the dollar. So extremely important graph for me to be looking at. So I'm going to be looking at it every time now. Um, Obviously yesterday we had a pretty decent day, pretty big up close candle, basically confirming the bullish stance for the dollar. So I'm obviously looking for longs coming into this big bearish fair value gap here. So that's pretty good. Scaling down, we can see pre-market open. We have these lows here, and we've got some, order blocks here, fair value gap sitting in around here. So we're wanting some kind of sweep here, and we'll take a long off that. So that's kind of what we got, to be honest. I mean, I'm liking this sort of structure on the dollar. We have these relative equal lows here, and we tap into this sort of order block here, this order block formation here. Now, yeah, what we saw was this little sweep here, sweeping these lows, not quite hitting this low, but mainly this liquidity getting tapped here, and obviously run up, and then we can find some kind of entry maybe on the 5 minute, tapping into this order block right here, volume imbalance, all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty good. But, we're not trading the dollar straight up. And I will say as well, an important thing as well is that this was a high impact news day today. So I think I think it was like PMI. Yeah, PMI. So not really wanting to be trading on this day anyways, just because pretty unpredictable. We obviously saw price rapidly come down here as soon as news dropped, but then pretty shortly after spike up, right? So could have went completely the other way. We don't want to be sort of gambling, I suppose. But anyways, looking at EU, on the daily, obviously inverse to DXY, we want to be taking shorts. We've got this fair value gap here that we want to get filled in. And obviously higher time frame, we swept all these highs up here, up here, up here. So we're wanting to see shorts on this, and we're wanting to get some, downwards action basically, fill in some of these imbalances here. So looking for shorts, we scale down and we can see that price has some highs up here. Ideally, we would have seen come some kind of sweep on these, and maybe some, fair value gaps getting filled up here on the higher time frame, 4 hour. That would have been nice to see, possibly tap into this order block. Didn't get any of that, unfortunately. But, we did get some kind of action. We had these relative equal highs here, and we had this bearish fair value gap, which got tapped into by this candle here. Although it was quite hard to find an entry for this. Just by looking at it, it was quite hard to find any kind of entry on this. Now, we can see obviously this was news related, massive gap right here. Hasn't been filled in quite yet. But, even on the 1 minute, not really any kind of entry here. So no trades could have been taken for this on this really. I mean, you could do some kind of OTE, optimal trade entry on like a fib, but I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not really, yeah, little more iffy on that. I prefer some kind of fair value gap entry, order block, you know, but didn't get that. The pound slightly different. Obviously, shorts, wanting to fill in these imbalances here on the 4 hour. Ideally we would have came up a little higher, maybe tapped into this order block here. That's fine. We didn't, nothing's perfect here. We did, I think, just tap into this order block here, but like the wick of this, so that's something. But Probably would have wanted a little higher. We did sweep these highs here though, so obviously scaling down to the 15, we did sweep this high here, and these highs here. Not filling into any real fair value gap though. You know, just nicked this one, but not the best. Um, you know, sort of tapping into, respecting this inverse fair value gap, which is good. No real entry though. I mean, I think that I don't really like the setup. Like the highs weren't formed that well. The higher time frame just wasn't really giving me anything. We have this sort of like a minor fair value gap here, but I like sort of a higher time frame confluence combined with, maybe two 15-minute relative equal highs slash lows. Didn't really get anything here. Scaling down on the 5 minute, you could have, if I were to have entered, I would have entered here on this volume imbalance and then obviously waited for some kind of confirmation. So, some kind of confirmation inside it. But, you know, not the best anyways. I mean, you know, probably would have put stops around here. It's okay. I mean, not the best trade, but yeah, so today's been a little iffy, and again, news not really feeling this one, but we're still in a pretty decent setup for DXY. We still have barely scratched this massive bearish fair value gap. So liking the look of this, some good trades hopefully tomorrow or the next day. And yeah, that's it really. Thank you for watching.